Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I can proudly announce that the Path of Exile branch of Maxroll.gg just went live, ready for you to be discovered. And today I want to take this video to lead you a little bit or show you the website, what we've been working on the past couple of months, or actually I think that this entire thing started like a year ago, so it's a lot of work in there. We have a lot of like crazy good players in our team, in our roster, that wrote guides for you, for the beginners as well as the advanced players. But obviously our first take basically is focused around the league start as well as beginner guides. So basically we all know that Path of Exile is probably the hardest game to pick up. I know a lot of people that tried it, like even my girlfriend, my brother, and like I know a lot of people that once said like, yo, you know, they know me from Path of Exile basically, and they are like, yo, this game looks actually insane, and they started, and it didn't even took like a day or two, and they were all quitting because they couldn't get through the acts, they couldn't find a decent build, because they're just not used to the fact that it is very hard to just create a character and just play as you go, as we know it from like other ARPGs like Diablo and stuff like that. And Path of Exile is just like, yeah, the worst, I would say. But don't you worry, I hope we have covered like the majority of important information for beginners as well as the advanced players. I would say let's take a look at our team and then go through the website to show you guys what we have to offer. So basically the team we have currently is Chewy as our team lead, coming over from the Diablo 3 branch. We have Palsteron, Tripobear, we have Crouching Tuner, Tai Killer, we have Grimbro, myself, Vudijo, Spicy Sushi, Firegrass, Enki, and Terrence. I mean, everybody here has their specific jobs at Maxroll, I would say, based on the content they provide, but everybody is working together. We are like, it's more like of a family approach, right? If I write, like I did a lot of the boss guides, so if I write boss guides, we always like double check with other very knowledgeable people to not have any like mistakes in the guides, and then it's get like double, triple, quadra checked before an article went live, trying to give the best experiences as well as the best quality for the guides. Okay, this is where things start. I think we're just going to start off from the basics, from getting started, over build guides, over boss guides, currency farming strategies, resource posts, and this guide, this website has like a shit ton to offer. I would say getting started. What can you expect from Maxroll? Basically, we have here the beginner's guide going for the first steps, as well as the campaign guide, as well as many other articles going from what is the passive skill tree, damage for beginners, loot filter for beginner, which is basically just guiding you through the filter blade settings and everything, how to set up your loot filter, because we all know without a decent loot filter, you're gonna be lost quite fast just because of the base core loot filter of the game, which cannot really be called a loot filter because it doesn't really filter anything. It's just like a pile of loot that nobody needs. But then we have, going forward, attributed colors, defenses for beginners, options and hotkeys, powering up, like how to get stronger for your character, right? We have the flask setups, we have stash tabs explained, literally covers everything that you want to know as a new player, or at least what I would have loved to know when I started the game, right? So if you go to the first steps guide, it literally tells you everything about what league to pick, what is the best thing for you. Do you want to go hardcore, solo, cell phone, everything explained, the different classes in the overview, just to give you guys an idea on how this game, or at least what might be the best starting experience tailored towards you. And then we go over to the campaign guide. So obviously, as we start our character, you have to go through a campaign, which is actually, in my opinion, still a little bit of an annoying process when you level up your 10th or 15th character. But now with the buffed uniques from Lake of Kalandra, I think we're gonna have like a lot easier time and just one-shotting like the majority of the content until we get to maps, right? But yeah, Enki wrote here a very, very in-depth, detailed guide talking about the first thing you have to do, Twilight Strand, every single quest, every single waypoint described until the furthest detail to help you guys. Like, you can literally have this guide open even on league start, or if you're like a new player, you know what is going on here. Everything here is explained, from torch courts, like whatever you need, we have it over here. Just showing you, guiding you through the entire thing until we reach the mapping aspect. So this is basically about our new beginner's guide section, where it literally explains you from the bottom to the top what you have to do. And then going further, we have the Atlas guides. And Atlas guides is basically, yo, I just killed Kitava, what do I have to do now? We have the Atlas explained guide, which basically tells you everything you see when you open your Atlas tree, right? From your favorite map slots, Atlas missions, maps, what is bonus maps, void stones, and like everything explained, where to get your stuff, what you have to do, and so on. And then we have the Atlas progression guide, telling you what exactly you need to do to get your Atlas going, to get all your bonus objectives, how to roll your maps, and. Then we have also, like, based on the beginner guides, we have the advanced, like, Atlas passive tree, map modifiers to avoid, advanced loot filter settings, unlocking new maps, trading for beginners, endgame activities, Atlas quest lines, which is basically Searing Exarch, the Maven, and all these kind of things, getting stronger to improve your character, as well as the endgame goals, how and why and what is the best way to actually make currency. And that leads me over to our, let's say, the currency guide, since we're like just picking up on this. Now you just win through the entire campaign and the Atlas grinds here, or at least the Atlas guides. What are you gonna do now? And Grimroll made an excellent job going through a currency guide. So we have here the new Lake of Kalandra league mechanic, basically covered everything you need to know. I think we all know that Grimroll is the spot to go when it comes to shit, the new league mechanic, I need help, right? And every single league I catch myself, the first thing, like Sentinel League as well, and like any other, like I see this massive skill tree and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. Yo, you know, you open your YouTube, you just check for Lake of Kalandra guide, and most likely you're gonna find Grimroll's guides about the new league mechanic, and he's teaming up with Firegrass to give you guys the best experience about the new league mechanics, as well as the old league mechanics, covering them all in farming guides, as well as the chaos recipe guide, which is like very strong in the early days of the league, just to literally print currency if you have literally nothing, if you have no gear, if you cannot even run any higher tier maps or anything. Chaos recipe got you covered. How to bulk sell, for example, the infinite heist guide, which is also like very strong in the early stages of the league. We have an expedition farming guide, we have a legion farming guide, alchemy and go farming guide, blight, as well as the eldritch altar farming. And if we go for like alchemy and go, which is like my favorite thing to do, because I just, it's hard for me to actually focus on one like specific farming tree. I'm just literally the mapping type of guy. I can go and I would just want to like browse through the game and make my currency. And you have everything you need to know, how difficult it is, how much investment do you need, how profitable it is, how much management, micromanagement you have to do, what is your Atlas tree looking like, how do I do that, right? We have essence, we have like strong boxes, highest caches, we have harbingers, because like this is like the thing, right? Things are permanently getting updated. We're not just delivering a guide and then just say like, yo, that's it, and like, yeah, whatever. Because harbingers are not going to be as strong as of right now because of the swap of like exalted and divine orbs. This is just affecting the Lake of Kalandra League, right? So I don't know if harbingers actually going to be in there as soon as the article is updated. But then you get delivered with like full Atlas passive trees, how to get going, and this is basically on every single league mechanic. So if I say, oh, I have like a Val Arc build and I love to explode legions, I have here a legion farming guide that basically leads me through everything from how to approach the pack, how my Atlas passive tree should look like. If I want to go for that, it's basically the core tree, right? You can still like adjust it to your own likes. Then basically how to set up everything up, what maps to run for it, what is like really good for it, and then even better, how to sell your loot, because like farming is one thing, selling your stuff is the other thing. So what you're gonna do with the timeless emblems that you're dropping, what about the incubators, what about the raw currency, what about the maps and the other loot that you get, and how to convert all of the things that you found into currency in the best way possible, as well as like synergies, like which farming guides or which currency making guides can be like combined to have even more profit with like a little bit more effort. And then we go over to the build guides, for example. So this is our landing page when it comes to build guides. Here you can literally pick, oh, I'm new to the game, what do I do? Hey, I like bow characters, and it should be league start viable, and I want to do bossing with it. Oh, we have explosive arrow ballister recommendation from Palsterod. So let's take a look at his guide, what he has to offer here. And basically, as you know, this website just went live. It was like a hell of a grind to actually get it to the stage, and it will be developed. So in our starting roster, we actually want to have like a good amount of league starters, rather than super endgame builds with like even mage blood or something. Maybe some builds are going to have that. We just try to avoid that. And have you guys covered then in the upcoming leagues. And like, it's just like, this website will be a work in progress until whenever, right? So let's take a look how a build guide is structured. So we have here table of content, like everything listed, introduction, what is this build? You have here a sneak peek of the current gear that we are wearing for league start. This is not like the multi divine orb or hundreds of divine orbs investment builds. This is really a league starter, what to look out for, how your stuff should look like based on equipment. We have the skills breakdown, what is explosive arrows, what is frenzy, what does it do, how do you actually play with it in a good sense, what auras are we running, the Arcanist brand setup, Molten Shell, all the skill breakdown. We have your Ascendancy breakdown, where you say like, yo, what is my first labyrinth step, second, third, fourth labyrinth step, and explained what do they do and how much power you can expect from it. The playstyle itself, we have the offense build scaling as well as the defense build scaling, how to make your build more tanky if you feel like too squishy, or hey, I have no damage, how do I counter that? Then we have key build informations about ally equilibrium, or everything that needs to that is in the build that is used that might leave a question mark, and we have you covered on explaining everything. Mistakes to avoid. You know, like, Palstern is playing this build since like 2 or 3 leagues now, and he's like, he mastered it basically, and can give you all the little details that all the mistakes that he made and so on. Then we have every single build guide, or at least the league starters in specific, do have leveling sections by Tai Killer, leading you through the entire thing. Like here, campaign setup step by step, what you take on level 2, and then you can like scroll up here, level 4, level 8, level 16, level 24, level 62. What is your gem setups looking like? We have leveling trees, so just like pop this out here, so you know how to level. And here on the bottom side here, you can basically revert a couple of levels to see exactly where should you spend your points on, right? Because it's always like a little bit rough if somebody shows you a PUB and it's just a level 100 character, and you have like, yo, do I go to bottom side first? Do I go for ally equilibrium first? Or do I want to go for ancestral bot first? Or do we take ally overload? I have no idea. So just go back here in time, and then you see exactly which points should go where is the first things that you need to skill into, what is the last things, what is the min-max things, and so on. Then we have a mid-game leveling tree, and of course the end-game leveling tree. And then we have here a complete act go through. Let's say you're Act 7 with your explosive arrow ballister. What do you do, right? From leading you through the quests about the where to get your passive skill points, what quest rewards to take, and so on. Mapping preparation, another like very cool thing. I'm showing you what to avoid when you roll your maps. Like recommended farming strategies. Oh, I just hit like tier 3 maps or something. What can I do with this build, right? Oh, you can do Isle Can Go, you can do Endless Heist, or you just farm the Chaos Recipe. Oh, I'm like, you know, I'm getting into mid-game maps. I'm beyond or stronger than what I can do here. What else can I do, right? Oh, we can go expedition farming. We can go blight farming. So leads you to Grimrose pharmacy, currency farming guides for blight, for example, right? Everything explained, what to look out for, how your atlas tree should look like. So you see, all of the things that we provide here has like an entire synergy, and this is something that I think is just insane. Going over the pantheons, over the skill gems, for example, how does your skill gems look like if you go for the basic setup, basically, and then you scroll down mid-game or after the campaign until the end game, what links you should have and the order of importance, as well as everything explained. Skill tree progression, cluster jewel setup, character progression is like a very strong aspect here, with the gear overview as well as the milestones. And milestones is basically a checklist. Okay, what is the first thing I need to do? Get decent rare gear. Okay, I have decent rare gear. What's the next point? Yo, get your sockets, colors, and links in order. You have, for example, milestone 3s like farming up a tabula, then get the gull, then get the flask, like fix your flasks, basically, right? Then you go over to the more advanced stuff, like a multi-level bow for your explosive arrow. Then you have like upgrade your body armor, and step by step, oh, I made some currency, what do I need to do now, right? Here as well, his video guide, a summary, and so on. So as you see, our guides are very, very in-depth, taking you by the hand from like level 1 until the big end game, until like defeating probably end game pinnacle bosses at some point, if your currency and your gear is suitable for that. Good, let's take a look at the boss guides, for example. That's the part that I wrote for now. So for example, let's do the Searing Exarch. A boss guide is basically structured in the most basic way, where you say like, okay, what is this dude, what can I get here, right? For example, the Searing Exarch, you're gonna get the Void Stones over here. You have all the invitations linked, how to actually progress your Exarch invitation, how to spawn the Polaric, or how to even drop the Polaric, the incandescent invitations, and what Atlas passive trees should be used if you want to farm that. We have the loot table here, the skills breakdown, something I really, really like. For example, you can just click through what is the dash ability that the Searing Exile has, the Flame Wall, the Annihilation, for example, and you can just click on the YouTube links and you see how the skills look like, so you actually have a visual approach to get a better idea to fight these kind of encounters. Because the worst thing is, yo, you just fresh to a boss, whether it's like Maven, Elder, like Uber Elder, whatever, you know, it's very difficult to find out what is a lethal damage and what to avoid and how to avoid it, basically, right? Then the boss guide itself, what does the Eater of Worlds do, on what stages, how to, what's the best way of going through the rolling magma phase, what Atlas passive tree skills should I use when I want to farm this, as well as covering the Uber version, the special loot about it, what are the changes to the Uber version, and so on. So yeah, if you want to learn something about bosses, I hope I got you covered there. I think we also have like tips and tricks at some point, how to, or at least it's basically on the summary where it shows you guys like tips and tricks, what items to use. For example, on the Searing Exarch, it's pretty cool if you use like totems or other people to block off meteors, right? Or you can just use ice wall and stuff, like all these like little tips and tricks that other people probably don't tell you when they make guides about it. Good, then let's go over to resources. Resources basically our attempt to explain the game in the best way possible, from Atlas passive trees, from the attributes, pantheons, passive skill tree, loot filter, as we talked over in the getting started section, the campaign guide, how to bulk sell, how to run the labyrinth, how to even trade with other people, or at least what's the most efficient way of trading, how to price check your items, how to search for decent items, and so on. What else? This is like such a big website by now, and it's actually crazy on how much stuff we actually already have covered. So I'm just like thinking about, is there anything like super important that I need to share right now, or I just give you the link and you can like just browse through and see for yourselves on how we did. And this is the next point. If you have feedback, if you have any recommendations or things that you want to have changed or see in the future, then please go to the Discord server of Maxroll, the Blue Discord, and basically describe how you feel about the website. Just give us some feedback so we can have a better understanding what people are missing from our guides and so on moving forward. And there is another disclaimer here. Since this website is basically is running ads, obviously ads are required to operate this entire website, to get everything funded and everything, right? And there might be that there are RMT ads, okay? And I specifically want to target them because Maxroll is 100% against anything that has to do, that is not conform with the terms of service of GGG as well as Path of Exile, right? So the way this like ad system works is we have our ad placeholders, and an ad site is going to feed the website with ads, right? And so we don't really have to control that. Like for me, I just get an Adobe, we say ad over here. Next refresh, it's going to be something different, right? It can be, there is the possibility that there is RMT advertisements on the website. This is not from us, okay? I just like to ask you, if you're seeing one of those ads, click this report ad button. We don't want to have to do anything with RMT. We are hyper strict against that, but we cannot really ban that from the website, but it can be that it happens, okay? And the more people report those ads, the more unlikely it's going to be to actually be displayed over here. Good. I think, long story short, I'll give you guys a link in the description below. Check it out and tell us, tell us what you think about it. You can even like write in the comments of this video for improvements. How do you like it? What do you want to have changed and so on? And yeah, hopefully we can deliver you with the best possible information moving forward to the upcoming leaks and expansions and so on. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.